Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's TD Fans Talk, the home of the real Miami Dolphin fans, guys. It's your boy TD. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter at TD Fans Talk. Instagram is TD Fans Talk, and also my new Facebook page, TD Fans Talk. You can also find my content at dolphinstalk.com as well, guys. What's up, everybody? I see everybody coming in the room. The first one in is M&T TV. What's up with you, man? I'm glad you're the first one. Finsanity5 checking in as the first mod in the room. We already got 26 in the room. Make sure that you hit that like button on your way in, guys. We're going to be talking about Minkah Fitzpatrick, guys. Minkah Fitzpatrick and what basically happened this week, what we can do to fix that. And I want to eliminate a lot of preconceived notions and things that people have been saying about Minkah Fitzpatrick that are actually totally untrue. They are just untrue, and we're going to break those things down for you guys real quick, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, Minkah Fitzpatrick, as we all know, last year was his rookie year with the Miami Dolphins, and he actually had a phenomenal season. He was actually the number one slot corner or safety, however you want to call it, the nickel, okay? He was the number one nickel in the league with passes versus him. This is PFF. Everything had Minkah Fitzpatrick number one, okay? Now, this was in the nickel. For some reason, we have a large group of Miami Dolphin fans who think that Minkah Fitzpatrick primarily belongs at the safety position. Why do they think this? It's because when he was drafted, all they remember is he was drafted as a safety. But when have you ever seen a nickel drafted? Let me repeat that. When have you ever seen a nickel drafted and on the draft board it had an N? Nickels are primarily listed as safeties in most situations, okay? And sometimes cornerbacks as well. So that's why he had the S on his name. A few more facts. In Alabama, Minkah Fitzpatrick played majority of his snaps at the nickel as well. So I want to eliminate all these false narratives that he didn't, okay? Now, Mr. Natural says we drafted him as a safety. Yes, because his title was a safety. We drafted him as a safety because his title was a safety. There is no such title as a nickel in the draft on the board. Now, let me keep going, okay? To help some people understand. And let me tell you another reason why why everyone says he's a safety. Because people want to throw out the fact, what team drafts a nickel in the first round? What team drafts a nickel in the first round? The Miami Dolphins? Another player who's a playmaker, who can play nickel and safety at times if you want him to? That's who does it, okay? But let's talk about Sunday, because all on Miami Dolphin Facebook pages, groups, Instagram, and everything, I'm hearing a lot of talk about Minkah Fitzpatrick, and everybody's saying this same narrative. Get him out of the nickel. Put him at the safety. What are we doing? That's what everybody's saying. He's getting toasted in the nickel. No. You couldn't be more wrong, okay? You couldn't be more wrong. Just because we know that Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to be playing nickel for this team and he did bad and he got toasted, doesn't mean he played nickel on Sunday. PFF just came out today with the numbers. Minkah Fitzpatrick had 49 snaps in the game. 49 snaps. Minkah was on the field for defense for 49 snaps in the game. Do you know that he only had 11 or 12? I don't remember the exact number, but it was either 11 or 12 snaps at the nickel. Only 11 or 12 snaps at the nickel. This man had almost 30 snaps at the safety position, and when I went back to watch the film, they targeted him only 6 times. They only targeted Minkah Fitzpatrick 6 times, and he gave up 6 completions. He gave up every completion he was targeted on, and 3 touchdowns. Out of those 6 targets, 5 of them were at the safety position. 5. The sixth one was at the nickel, and he stopped it on like a 6-yard pass. He tackled him right away, running stride for stride with his man. He tackled him right away. What happened to Minkah Fitzpatrick on Sunday was the simple fact that he was playing safety. Minkah Fitzpatrick, as I've been saying all along, belongs in the nickel 100% of the time. And what this coaching staff are trying to do is mix things up so much. We got to have some of our best players on the field. Minkah is a former first-round pick. We're not always in a nickel package. That's what's going on. They're saying we're not always in a nickel package. So when we're not in the nickel package, what they were doing was taking Rashard Jones off the field and putting Minkah Fitzpatrick at the safety. And I'm sorry. He got toasted at the safety position. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, if we want to utilize Minkah Fitzpatrick to his strengths and what he is best at, he belongs at the nickel 100% of the time. His own mother, after what's his name again that called him out during camp? Man, guys, y'all know his name. He called him out at camp and his mom responded. Yeah, you all will let me know in the comments. Omar Kelly, yes. Omar Kelly called out Minkah Fitzpatrick at camp. He said Minkah Fitzpatrick has been playing a lot of safety and he doesn't look good. And Minkah's mom even came out and basically said maybe he's at the wrong position. Maybe he's playing to the strength of other players instead of the strengths of his own. And I've been preaching this for months now. And for some reason, a lot of people love to come argue with me and say, he belongs at the safety, man. What are you talking about? He's a safety. We drafted him to play safety. No, we didn't. We drafted him to play nickel. Now, whether or not you want to argue if it was a reach to select the nickel at the pick we got him, that's a different story. But he belongs in the nickel. Minkah Fitzpatrick would not get burnt deep out of the nickel. If somebody's running a go route or coming across the field going deep, Minkah Fitzpatrick can handle that from the nickel position. You know why? He's a young, feisty player that loves to get physical in that box, and he loves to use his hands. And after he uses his hands, it's no need to really recover because he's already got the receivers a little bit off. And he loves staying with his guy from that nickel position. Wait, I'm so lost. So Minkah not really a safety? Minkah's never been a primary safety. In college, his primary position was nickel. He said it himself in an interview. He said, I'm most comfortable in the nickel. That's what I primarily played at Alabama. I played it all, but that's my primary position. And I've been telling people this for a year now. For a year, and everybody keeps saying he's a safety, he's a safety. He belongs in the safety. The man said out of his own mouth that he's primarily played nickel, even at Alabama. And what did he do last year for the Miami Dolphins? He played nickel, and he ended up being the #1 nickel in the league from a statistical standpoint, allowing the least amount of completions and yards given up on him in the nickel out of the whole NFL. And we come into this offseason, and here we go again, people hollering that he's a safety. He needs to be at safety. Why do we have Bobby McCain back there? X, Y, and Z. And for the life of me, I pulled my little hair out and like, where do people even get this narrative? And the only conclusion that I can come up with that they get this narrative is, again, going back to the draft day, most people didn't even know who Minkah Fitzpatrick was. I mean, I did because I followed Alabama. But most people that don't know college football don't even know who he was. All they know is we drafted Minkah Fitzpatrick, a safety out of Alabama, and they win national championships, so he must be good. That's all people know. They remember seeing the S on the big board. They remember seeing the Miami Dolphins select Safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick out of Alabama. They even said safety because you've never seen in the NFL on draft day, they put an N on the board. You never seen in the NFL on draft day when they get to the podium, they say nickel. It's not, because it's a sub-package position. It's a sub-package position. I don't know why. I was telling everybody last year, the man played primarily nickel last year, and he was number one in the NFL. Why are people keep saying put him at the safety? He's a safety. Why are we using him in the nickel? Every time he plays the nickel, he does well. He does superb. So it's kind of contradictory. I don't know why people even get that. Yes, TD, you told us. I've been telling everybody for the longest. People argue with me on the stream, if you remember that too. Weston said, I knew who he was. Well, I'm sure you did, Weston. You follow football like that, you know? Right as usual. You see the game, bro. Love your stuff. Appreciate you, Troy. Appreciate you even saying that, man. Appreciate you saying that. At a point, he was projected to go top 5. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Actually, some people even said it was a good pickup by Miami, but even the analysts were saying, see, here's what they thought. See, the people who don't do research on football, they say he's a good physical safety who loves to come down in the box. He don't love to come down in the box. It's just when you watch this film, you see him in the box. He was already in the box because he plays the nickel. He plays the nickel. Look at Alabama. They run one high safety in a lot of sets too. Every time you got a one high safety, you got a nickel on the field in a lot of situations. In a lot of situations. And I really don't know how it got lost in translation and everybody literally deemed him as a safety. Now, don't get me wrong. That's what he'll forever be listed as, a safety. If I'm not mistaken, I think they might even have him listed as a cornerback. But those, if you're a nickel, you could be listed as a cornerback or a safety. It doesn't matter. But you got to know. And he's a specialist in that box, man. He is way better at nickel, most definitely. But guess what happened on Sunday? Nobody's talking about it because they don't even know better. Minkah got toasted because he was only in the nickel for about 20% of the plays. 22% of the plays he was in the nickel. 49 plays he played, and only 11 or 12 were in the nickel. About 70% at the safety position. And they targeted him at the safety. Targeted him, man. And let me tell you why Minkah's better in the nickel than the safety. Minkah jump stuff. He all over it. You slanting, I'm meeting you at that point. You coming across the field, I'm already engaged. I'm in this fray with you. I'm in all this chaos. Or you throwing the screen, I'm getting off my guy and clipping you. Hey, tackle for loss on the bubble screen. Minkah's feisty. He uses his hands. But now you're just asking him to run. You put him in the safety position, now you're just asking him to run. Chase people versus being physical with them. When you look at him, you don't even think he's a big guy, which he's not, but he's a feisty, physical guy. He loves the fray. He loves we fighting and hand jostling, and I'm still on you while we're doing it. And you can do all of that in the box. But we want the man to go out there just to be chasing people. There's a difference with raw speed of chasing than speed of physical chasing. Physical chasing, you know how to use your hands and your body well. You're going to be stride for stride with the offensive player. You're going to be up in that fray with him and that all draped on top of him. Look at last year. Minkah got a few pass interference calls too in the nickel, but you saw some of them were like borderline. Oh, he's so on his man at the nickel that sometimes he'll get pass interference just by diving and the hand was laying on the back or something. The man got to stay in the nickel, man. You got to keep him in the nickel. And I honestly don't. Now, I understand. Here's the dilemma that the coaches have. We're not always in the nickel package. Like I said to you before, he played 49 snaps in the game on defense. The problem is when we're not in the nickel, why are you taking one of your best players off the field? Remember, we had this argument a month and a half ago. Oh man, they got to keep Minkah on the field. Minkah on the field. You got to have your best player on the field. Y'all remember that argument we had too? You got to keep your best player on the field. The coaches are trying to do that, but look what it's costing them. They're taking Rashard Jones off the field, putting Minkah where Rashard belongs, and adding another linebacker when it's not a nickel package. That's why Rashard was in and out of the game, in and out of the game. Because, all right, we're not running the nickel package on this one. Come on, Rashard, Minkah, go back to the safety. Because technically the reason why, because Rashard ain't the future. Minkah is. But if you're looking to look good now and win now, you got to keep Rashard back there, keep Rashard in that. I mean, Minkah in that nickel. Come on, man. Rashard Jones played good when he was on the field. If Rashard Jones stayed at the safety position, man, I'm gonna tell you, Rashard Jones staying in that position and Minkah staying in the nickel alone would have made a big difference in that game. Minkah gave up 3 touchdowns. Rashard Jones wasn't finna give up them 3 touchdowns at the safety position. Minkah Fitzpatrick accounted for 21 points, y'all. If the Ravens lucky, I'll give them 7 points on Rashard Jones. If the Ravens were lucky, I would give them 7 points on Rashard Jones. That's what Rashard Jones do. That's what he does. That's his bread and butter. That alone would have made a huge difference. But once again, then that means you're going to see Minkah off the field more often. That's where the problem is coming. Because you got to find a way to keep your best players on the field. You got to. That's where the issue is coming. But Rashard Jones is one of the better players too. The coaches would be served better. Here's what needs to happen. The coaches would be better served, if they keep Rashard back there, and they need to start working Minkah Fitzpatrick out more at the linebacker position. So when you're not in a nickel package, he's still on the field at the linebacker position. That's what they need to do. He needs to be playing, and even though it's a smaller linebacker, but they also don't like that mismatch on a running down. A rundown having Minkah at the linebacker. So that's why it's like, it's tough. Let me give you another example. I forgot who this was. I think it was Eric Rowe or somebody. I'm not sure. I need to go back and look. In fact, let me do this. I want to make sure I give y'all the facts. Give me a second. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to look up some footage real quick because I want to see who was the guy in a specific situation. All right. Yeah, Pete, you tripping. Minkah is not a bust. No, that's some real tripping right there. Really tripping right there. To say Minkah is a bust, can't even come close to agreeing with that. Minkah Fitzpatrick is elite. Elite. Once again, the problem is he's out of position. He's out of place. Y'all give me a second. It's coming up now. He is what? Minkah is nice at the nickel. Plus, he young and hungry. Totally agree, man. Give me a second, guys. All right, man. I should have used the other platform because this would have been nice to use. This would have been nice to use. I should have used the other platform. I could have showed y'all this film, man. I could have really showed you this film. That's Eric Rowe. Okay. So do y'all remember where Eric Rowe got beat on the slant up the middle? Eric Rowe got beat on the slant up the middle. Okay. It's where they faked the handoff. Jackson pulled it, threw it right away on the slant, and he took off down the field, had Eric Rowe's back turned. Minkah was on the field at the time. They ran a one high safety, but guess who Minkah was guarding, even though they had a slot receiver? Here's the messed up part about it. They had a slot receiver on the play. All Baltimore did is ran two receivers to the left and a heavy line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. And they had Minkah on the opposite side of the field guarding a tight end. And on this play, the tight end is blocking Minkah very well. Minkah's holding his own, but it's not even coming that way. They got Eric Rowe in the slot guarding the slot receiver. Why in the heck is Minkah Fitzpatrick not guarding the slot receiver? That's the point I'm trying to make here. One high safety with Bobby McCain. Rashard Jones is off the field. This is a nickel package. Why isn't he in the slot? Why isn't he covering the slot guy and you got Eric Rowe covering the slot? You got Xavier Howard and Eric Rowe on the same side. Here's where the problem comes, guys. What they did is said Baltimore is running a 2 receiver set, so let's put both of our corners on it. No, keep Eric Rowe on the other side where he belongs, where you had Minkah on the outside guarding that tight end or the run. And you have Minkah playing that slot guy because that's the better guy for the inside receiver release. So Minkah has been everywhere on the field. He's everywhere on the field, but he's not primarily where we need to be. That's another touchdown. I already told y'all Minkah gave up 3 touchdowns playing the safety. Technically, that's a 4th touchdown given up if you ask me because he wasn't playing in the nickel. He wasn't playing in the slot receiver on that one, which he should have been. Eric Rowe's whole body got turned around, and the guy cut on him and touchdown. That wasn't going to happen to Minkah in the box. Minkah can't hold speedy receivers. It doesn't matter. The beautiful thing about playing the nickel is that you don't have to hold speedy receivers. In the first 10 yards, you just got to be with them. That's what Bobby McCain back there for. That's what Bobby McCain is back there for. Or Rashard when he's back there. Minkah's job is just to be in that fray. Speed don't matter when you in that box. When you running a slant, that ain't speed. When you going across one side of the field to the other, he may not can hold them, but he's with them because it's lateral. He got to make a decision. Do I go back or forward? Every time Minkah Fitzpatrick got beat at the safety position in this game, this man had a full speed guy running to him. That's the toughest thing to do. The guy coming at you full speed, and you don't know if he's going to stop and turn around and sit down, or he going to keep running. It's going to be a guess. Who should you have do that? Rashard Jones. You know why? Rashard Jones going to sit right there, and if you run into me, I'm going to veer. I ain't got to put my hand out and touch you. I'm big and strong enough to give you that nudge. Minkah tried to do it, but he's too small. So he ended up taking his hand and trying to slow him down. Rashard Jones going to absorb that straight on contact. And if you don't come straight on into me as being Rashard Jones, you're going to show me which direction you changing before you come into me. You will come into Minkah Fitzpatrick and try to veer him because he weak in that regards. But I'm Rashard Jones. This is what I do. I'm built for this. You're not going to come rub off on me full speed. If you rub off on me full speed, you might go flying to the ground. And it ain't no penalty on me. That's what you did. That's what you did, man. Rashad Jones played 22% of the defensive snaps. I had no idea that was the case. I didn't know that. I didn't look at his. But that's part of the problem. Rashad Jones should have been out there 60% of the time at the safety position. 60% of the time, and Minkah needs to stay in the nickel. I'm telling y'all now, Baltimore don't even come close to scoring 59 points. Minkah isn't just the nickel. Obviously, he's not. We know he's not just the nickel. The problem is he needs to be just the nickel. That's the problem. That's what this video is about. Because when he doesn't play the nickel, his numbers are nowhere near when he plays the nickel. Period, man. McCain is our worst DB. That's why he's at strong safety. And again, I like McCain at the safety because it's all help side. It's all help side. I like him at the safety. You think we can stop wideouts on the slot? I mean, yeah, I mean, you can stop wideouts on the slot, but if you want to have a better chance of stopping wideouts on the slot, then you put Minkah Fitzpatrick on them in the slot. You put Minkah on him in the slot. He was number one in the NFL last year, stopping guys in the slot. TD, are you saying the coaches are not doing their jobs? Yes or no? Players don't pick their man. I think you meant man. It's not street ball. No, I agree. They don't pick their man, but you're right. It's coaching in this situation. But I just laid out to you, Logan, the dilemma that they're dealing with. Minkah Fitzpatrick is a special talent, and you want to keep your special talent on the field at all times. The problem with Minkah Fitzpatrick is for him to show his special talent to his fullest, it belongs in the nickel. But the nickel is a sub package. It's not a package that you run every single down. Based off of the formation of the offense, you got to get out of nickel. You see what I'm saying? You got to get out of nickel depending on the formation they're running. You got to get out of it. But then if you get out of nickel, where is Minkah going? The same place they put him, trying to keep him on the field. So what happened was Baltimore, what they did, and I don't know if it was schematic. If it was schematic, I would even have more respect for them because they're going even deeper in the game than we think. In saying we're going to run formations to force Minkah out of the nickel and put him in the safety. So offenses, just like you said, you got to go where the offense dictates for you to go. Sometimes your offensive scheme can say, we got to get this guy out of the nickel. We got to run formations like this so it keeps him out of the nickel. It's just like that play where they ran two receivers to the left. Right now, they got Eric Rowe and Xavier Howard on the field. If we run two receivers to the left in a heavy line of scrimmage, they're going to put their two corners on those two guys. Therefore, we're rendering the nickel position useless, and he need to come down here on that block and wonder if a tight end's veering out or if it's a run. We're keeping him out of the passing game. At least the short passing game. That's our goal, to keep him out of the short passing game. And what did they do? Hike, backed up, quick slant. That's Minkah's specialty. And it went for a touchdown on Eric Rowe. So it's tough. What do the coaches do? The problem is their base set is a one high safety anyway. I think we know that now. The base set for our defense is a one high safety, but it becomes predictable whenever they run, when offense is doing what they're doing. See, we're playing our players' strengths by letting the man up and run a one high safety, but now offenses can play to our strength and avoid it by knowing that's what we're doing. If it's not Xavier Howard and Minkah Fitzpatrick, we can eat underneath all day. That's what any team should be able to say. So we already know X is going to be on his guy. We got to move Minkah out of that nickel position on certain plays. We got to move him out of that. And that's what they did. He got toasted at safety, man. Toasted. And we got toasted anyway when he wasn't at the nickel. That's the point I'm making. What you think of Xavier's performance last week? Anytime you don't hear a guy's name much, all you got to do is say kudos. You didn't hear about him much. I watched the film. One thing I loved is that I didn't see him getting beat on the field like the film I saw last year. There were moments of him, you're behind, buddy. They just missed it. No, he was with his man stride for stride. He was following his guy. That deep ball, technically he was beat by 2 feet, but his dive, see, I told y'all, his strength is the ability to recover. Rashad Jones has that same strength. That's why when Minkah was guessing on that, when he was playing safety going deep, he's too small and don't have that elite type ability like that on the run to recover. He doesn't have, see, Minkah's gonna, if you're a speedy receiver, Minkah's fast too. But if you already got 3 feet, even if I catch up to your speed, I'm still 3 feet behind. We're running stride and stride, 4-4s. We're both running stride and stride, but you already got me by 3 feet, so I'm not making up ground. Rashad Jones, on the other hand, he doesn't have that crazy speed like that, but his physicality makes up ground. His ability to change directions that much faster. Because Rashad Jones, the thing that I'm scared with Rashad Jones is he's a jumper too. He'll jump routes. He'll jump route. The only time you beat up on Rashad Jones is if it's a double move. But they get him every time with it. But if it's a play that still needs to develop, when he jumping, he know how to change directions real fast to get back in it. So now it's not a 3-foot separation. It's only a 2-foot separation. And when that ball go up in the sky, me on the not Rashad Jones, but Xavier Howard on the run, he can make up 2 feet just leaping on the run. He did it the other day. It didn't end up in being a pick. I would have loved for it to have been. But he made up 2 feet of separation by leaping on the run. The only way you beat Xavier Howard on a double move where he's beat by 2 feet, the ball has to be thrown perfectly in stride. So too many things got to go right. It can happen, and it does happen to anybody, any given Sunday. Any great corner, it'll happen. But too many things have to go right to make him pay. You can't have a case where, I got him beat, but I got to slow down a little because the ball is 1 foot overthrown. Oh, he got that all day. That's the difference, man. That is the difference. I just hope the coaches are noticing the things that I'm talking about right now. I hope they're noticing that. Ravens got Minkah out of position many times. Many times. And the crazy thing is, on that slant for the touchdown against Eric Rowe, if they would have had one receiver on the right side, because they did a 7-man offensive line on that play. If they would have had one man on the right side, a 3-receiver set instead of a 2, Minkah would have been in place. He would have been in the nickel, Rowe would have been out there, and X would have been out there, and he would have been in the nickel. He would have been in place. But they ran a 2 to the left in a 7-man line of scrimmage. So Eric Rowe, so the coaches put Eric Rowe in the nickel. And that's where the problem was. That's part of the problem. I wish they had a headsy up thought process where, hey, Eric, get out here. Let me get him. I wish they could. I wish they could. I wish they had that freedom. Or maybe they do. They just got to recognize it. Don't know. The most embarrassing thing is that the coaches didn't adjust. I kind of agree with that with somebody earlier too. I actually felt like they adjusted because here's what they did. Early in that game, I actually saw a few too high safeties. The problem is they were running the ball at will. They ran the ball at will as they pleased. And what did we do? We went one high safety, man to man, more in the box. And what did they do then? Start throwing. And next thing you know, we're already getting blown out 30 to something. And it's easy to say, let's start adjusting again. But I don't know. It makes me feel like they went straight into evaluation mode. We're going to keep players in this package and let's see who's handling and who's not. It's hard to adjust when I lack talent. That's a great point. When you lack talent, I think that's what you meant. That's a great point because when you're on the defensive side of the ball and you need a cornerback opposite, you need a cornerback opposite Xavier Howard. You need two defensive ends. Just take those three guys alone. When you have gaps like that, it's hard to adjust when you have to continue to mask those gaps. You got to keep committing the linebackers in the box and letting those guys go on the island, because if you don't and you take them from committing in the box and you make them play straight up, they're just going to pound and ground that ball. Defensive ends are weak. They're not setting the edge. Keep running 6 yards at a time, 8 yards at a time, 13 yards at a time. Flores and them knew what time it was. If we adjust out of what can fix this, all it's going to do is open up them running the hell out of the ball on us because we don't have the talent at the defensive end position to make an impact in that regard. How did Wilkins do? A lot of people kept saying, oh, Wilkins didn't do great. He our first round pick. He was on his butt all the time. When I go back and watch the film, what do you want a defensive tackle to do when the offensive line is running? First of all, your two defensive ends ain't doing nothing. And every offensive line you're looking at is running 6 and 7 offensive linemen. Almost every play. Almost every play, 6 and 7 offensive linemen. And every tackle, Godchild and Christian Wilkins double teamed on almost every play. And the only time they weren't double teamed, and they got in the backfield, but it didn't matter. You know why? It was a halfback toss. Lamar Jackson hike it out of the pistol, tossing it to the side. Oh, yeah, y'all done beat y'all guy one-on-one, but it don't matter. We already outside. The only time they would beat their guy, like, oh, they back there, but it's a toss. It don't matter. They 7 feet behind the play anyway. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. TD, would you agree Charles Harris a bust? I can't say that, Wedson, and let me tell you why. We need to really go look at Charles Harris. He's out there fighting, but watch this. We get mad at Charles Harris for what he did last year, first of all, which was nothing. Even though I know injuries and things like that. But did Cam Wake and Robert Quinn do anything last year? No. Why? Because we had a weakness on the D-line, and those were the only guys to go after it, but they would get double-teamed. See, people know the goal against the Miami Dolphins is to have heavy line of scrimmages. You know why? If their defensive tackles are good, their defensive ends suck. If their defensive ends are good, their defensive tackles are weak. Last year, we finally had both, but then our defensive tackles got hurt. They got hurt in week 4. They looked great in the first 4 games. Then they got hurt. When is the last time Miami had 4 good defensive linemen? 4. To cause havoc up there and create at least 1 or 2 one-on-one matches. When is the last time we've had that? But I can't blame Charles Harris because no defensive lineman had a good year last year because they were getting doubled because we never had 4. Now we're coming into this year. Don't get me wrong. We got the defensive tackles, which should make it easier for Harris, but all they did is went on the opposite side. That's all they did is went on the opposite side. Where's Harris? And the defensive tackles go on the opposite side. Render those guys useless. Double all of them and then do a one-on-one battle with whoever's opposite. These guys out there getting double teamed. Now, when we get that one more pass rusher that's sitting on that line with this group, y'all going to be shocked that it's a total different story. Why do you think they were trying to get Clowney in this quote-unquote tank phase? Why do you think they were trying to get Clowney? If we got Clowney and the defensive tackles that we got now, it's going to cause one-on-ones for Charles Harris. Then we'll really know whether he's good or not. We would have one guy, if Clowney was here, we would actually have the line that would have changed the whole narrative. You know why? Those guys would have been attacking. Lamar Jackson wouldn't have 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball every time. DBs would have looked better because they wouldn't be on the island for 5, 6, 7 seconds. The linebackers would be more confident to not have to over pursue the run every time and get killed in the middle of the field. These things work in attributables, man. 1 weak area can mess up the whole defense. But that's why I try to urge people to realize it may look terrible, but you might not be as far from a good defense than you think. Give me 1 or 2 more defensive trench players that are legit. Your secondary don't look that bad. Because they're not going to give Lamar Jackson 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball. It's just that we got to witness them looking bad because Lamar Jackson had 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball. We're not going to see our linebackers getting fooled out the wazoo with a great D-line. They'll be a little bit more relaxed and not over pursuing to make up for the weakness that we have. You got to understand what these coaches are asking the linebackers to do. We need you to cover up the weakness we have on the D-line and get in there. And what did they do? They were up in there. Oh, my gosh, it's a pass play? And they all looking backwards at a completed pass going to the house for a touchdown. Minkah just isn't good. In the safety, I agree. In the nickel, he's one of the best in the league, if not the best. Why hate on greatness? We giving Charles Harris the T. Hill treatment. We not saying what we already know, only because he's on the roster. He is a bust. Don't take 7 years to see this. Charles Harris? How long Charles Harris? You said Charles Harris? How long Charles Harris been on this roster, Logan? Watch this, Logan. How long Charles Harris been on this roster, bro? 3 years. 3 years. I thought this man was drafted 2 years ago. He's talking about 3. Now I gotta go look. I thought it was 2 years. Hold on. Yeah, give me a second. Too much time to look up. Let's say 3. In the 3 years, what defensive end has played? First of all, if it was 3 years, they didn't play him the first year, barely. So last year, what defensive end did what he couldn't do? I'm curious. What defensive end that we had did what he couldn't do? Because if Cam Wake's career was judged off of last year, then he a bust. You're missing what I'm saying when it comes to schematic football and how it can impact the player. This is 4th year. Bro, hold on. I got to see who was starting all these years and had him to back up. I thought, man, y'all saying 4th. It ain't no more than 3. Y'all, I know I ain't tripping. Maybe I am. Let's find out, TD. Maybe I'm tripping. Because some players, once they on Miami Dolphins, Charles Harris. Let's go ahead and settle this first and for all. Let's settle this once and for all. The man 24, so I could already tell you now. Let's see. This cannot be his 4th year. No way, no how. 3 at the most. Bam. Let's go. All right, here we go. Here we go. 20. Yeah, this is his 3rd year. Okay. 2017, he only started 2 games at the end of the season, might I add. 2 games. And truth be told, out of those 2 starts, even though he played every game, but he was filling. I'm not even finna sit here and count his first season. because he was behind guys that he was going to come in behind. 2 sacks and 2 starts. Okay. Now, last year, he only played 11 games. He only started 1. Once again, not even a starter. And I understand, well, that's because he just wasn't good. Okay, last year, what in the heck did Wake and Quinn do? They ain't do nothing either. So we going to judge him for last year for what guys who are Pro Bowlers and supposed to be better didn't do? Three years is still enough time to figure out if this is a good defense event or not. I agree. But who says he's not? Maybe the coach says, yeah, he is. People won't see that, but we know he is. Because at the end of the day, schematic football. Wake got 2.5 sacks on Sunday. Exactly. Because Wake is sitting there with a front 4 who is good now. All 4 of them. All 4 of them. So Wake ain't got to worry about being double teamed every play when he come around that corner. He ain't being double teamed every time he come around that corner in Tennessee. Because they got to worry about all 4 of them now. Now he get to lick his chops. When have they allowed these guys in Miami for the last 2 years to go one-on-one? Every team we play runs 6 and 7 man offensive lines against us until it's late in the game and we already worn down. Now they switch to 5. Go watch the film. Go watch the film. Every play that you see Charles Harris or our defensive ends on, go watch the film. Go watch the film. Please go watch it. These guys are out here getting double teamed. J.J. Watt had no sacks on Monday because he got double, triple teamed. Same thing that's happening to Harris. See, we're the type of team that'll let a talent like Harris go, and he'll go join 3 other good defensive linemen, and next year, you know, now he want to have 13 sacks in the season. Why wasn't he doing that with us? Because there's a whole bunch of people that don't understand schematic football sitting here judging why he didn't put up numbers in Miami. A whole people that's ignoring, that's literally ignoring the attributables. These are the same people that think that Brady, with the worst offensive line in the NFL, could still have won six rings. The same people that Brady would have still won the same 6 rings if he had the worst offensive line every year. The same people that believe that too. And the same people that say things like this, Harris sucks. What are you talking about? In 3 years, he got 3 sacks. The man wasn't even on the field. The man started 4 games in 3 years. Do you realize that too? You want to talk about how many sacks he got when you got Robert Quinn and Cam Wake taking 70% of the snaps last year and want to hold that against him. Then his rookie year, he only started 2 games. And you want to hold that against him, man. Y'all got to start evaluating all the stats, man. Y'all to throw out a stat. He only got 3 sacks. Why? These the same people that, hypothetically, if TD tore his ACL his rookie year, playing defensive end, he tore his ACL his sophomore year. Now he back his junior year, and he got 3 sacks in the first game. If I was playing defensive end and I played 0 snaps the first year, 0 snaps the second year, but that third year, my first game, I got 3 sacks, baby. I'm a beast. These the same people that are go look at the stats. Oh, he trash. He only had 3 sacks in 3 years. Don't even look at perspective. All they do is look at stats to be of face value and don't even look at how many games the kid started or how many games the kid played. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. This is the world we live in. They see a headline, it's true, throw it out there. It said it right there. Come on, man. You got to go look at all the data. Go look at all the data. And then go look at the data of the data. I asked TD, how do we stop the Ravens tight ends? And he said, with our linebackers. Yeah, that's the only way that you can for them. And getting the pass rush at Lamar to not give him time. That's my thoughts, Liquid Red. Folks, look at stats because we ain't got no wins to look at, bro. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. You're right in that regards. They look at stats because they got no wins to look at. But if you really want this team to tighten up and become good, you got to understand them. You got to understand the stats. You have to understand the stats. Let me ask you, and here's why. I always tell people this. There is a such thing as false facts and true lies. Hopefully y'all heard this term before. True lies and false facts. These are the things that screwing people up in today's mental. In today's world, people are being screwed up because of true lies and false facts. I can ask everybody on this stream right now, which would you rather? A quarterback that has 100% completion percentage or a quarterback that got 95% completion percentage? And everybody would say, of course, the 100. But then if I say, now that guy with 100 completion percentage is one of one. The guy with 95% completion percentage is 95 of 100. Which one would you rather? It's still not enough data, but which one would you feel more secure with? Let's keep it 100 here. Which one would you feel more secure with at that point? 95, the 95 guy or the 100 guy? Would you feel more comfortable with the 95 guy or the 100 guy? The 95 guy is 95 out of 100, and the 100 guy is 1 out of 1. 1 out of 1. Let's keep it real here, and that's what's happening in the world when you read stats. When you read stats, you need to understand the sample size. It's no different from polling. Now, I'm a math guru. I love math and statistics, by the way. It's no different from polling. Well, 80% of the people say they agree with this. Then have you looked at the data? Do you recognize 100% of the people that they polled is in favor of that in the first place? They didn't poll 50-50 to see what a true number is. But people don't do that. They running out here, oh, polls said this, the polls say that. The polls say this. The polls have been really wrong lately. Really wrong. There's been some situations the polls have been beyond wrong. Because you got to realize who they're polling. When you're looking at stats, you need to understand the underlying data. You need to understand the underlying data. Manuel said water is dry. Oh, Lord. Don't get me started on that water is wet. Is water wet crap? Water is not wet, for the record, by the way, y'all. All right? And this is me and my biology teacher, Cap, coming on. Okay? Something being wet is a result of. All right? Things become wet. Man, exactly. We still in a learning process. Yeah, it is. No, it ain't real, Tupac. Water can make something wet. Water can make something wet. Okay? It's a process of, man. Rip, trust me on this, bro. Okay? We building something finally. Water is most definitely wet. It most definitely can make things wet. Come on, Rip. I ain't gonna go back and forth. Let that go. I'm gonna let it go, Kay. The polls are BS. People lie when they are polled to begin with. That's true too. Exactly. We still in a learning process. Patriots are too fast. Let me see. Travis Odell had a name. The man went 12 overall. He was good at LSU. No individual thought. Is fire hot? Lord Jesus. I'm done with this. People don't know how to separate two variables. That's all it is. I'll just say that. To end that whole discussion, and this is my biology teacher Cap coming on, because I taught biology. You got to learn how to separate two variables. I'll just leave it at that. And that probably above a lot of people's head anyway. Oh, man. This sample size is that your Miami Dolphins will lose by 70 to the Patriots this week. Hey, we shall see. We're going to find out, man. We are going to find out. They wasn't lying when they said the Dolphins are ranked 32nd. Yeah, that's about to change, though. Go on the record, TD. When will we get our first win? On the record, we will get our first win this Sunday, baby. Oh! This Sunday, we're going to get our first win, man. Man, the OT on Saturday, we are still thinking. Oh, okay. This Sunday, baby. Let's go. Fins fans, stand up. Win, lose, or draw. We're going to believe in our boys this Sunday versus the Patriots. Let's go. Let's go. I don't care if you're down in your spirit. Lift them up, baby. We Fins fans for life. We going to war, man. We supporting our team. Let's go get this W, Miami. Let's go shock the world. Let's turn it around. And if it don't happen, that's all right, baby. Let's keep fighting. So you want me to keep it real when we going to get our next win? This Sunday, baby. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's do this, man. Let's go, man. Appreciate your show. You keep it G, even though we don't agree on everything. That's what it's about, Miami Super Fan Dolphins. Appreciate you too, man. And that's keeping it G what you just said. Because I ain't expecting us to agree on everything, anybody on this channel. Some people got their own opinions, but you know what I always say? Time will tell. Time will tell. They said the same thing to me. Rosen gonna start. You're delusional, TD. You're an idiot if you don't think he gonna start. What did I say? Time will tell. Man, Drake's starting, man. Stop all that narrative. You lied. He's starting. What did I say? Time will tell. Time will tell, man. And hey, there's gonna be times where I said this, it didn't happen that way. Time told. I wasn't right. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change my tune with new information. I was wrong. This is the information now. Even though people are going to be like, oh, you just flip-flopping. I'm not flip-flopping. I was wrong. What do you do when you're wrong? You change to what's right. When you're wrong, you change to what's right. And for some people, people want you to hold on to your wrong so that you just live in infamy of you wrong. No, that ain't what TD, because I've been getting a lot of that lately. Bro, how are you changing your thought? First you said this, now you're saying that. Because we got new information. We got new information. So on this channel, let me be clear to everyone. I try to give you the best analysis I can for my thought process. When new information comes in that contradicts the things that I believe, my narrative will change because I want to be as close as what's happening at all times and understand the variables on this team that are making those changes in my thought process happen. It's what you call real news. It's what you call real analysis. I will never go down on a burning ship. Just because I paid my fare and I got on it, if I see it's burning, I'm not going down with it. I'm not going down with it at all. That's just who I am. And I would hope everybody like that. But pride, boy, pride is strong. People can't change their thoughts because they're pride. Their pride. I have no pride. I don't mind being wrong. Would I have liked to be wrong? Absolutely not. I would like my brain to put it all together just like that. Just like that, man. And see, yeah, right, TD. I know that we are going to be all right. Mike Coleman from Dayton, Ohio. I will be suited and booted. Keep up the good work, fam. I got you. Hey, it's going to be rainy down there. They got another storm coming through the tropics, so it's going to be rainy. I'm not wearing no heavy stuff. I might have some gym shorts on, Dolphin gym shorts that I just got, a Dolphin t-shirt, baseball cap, some sneakers, and keep it pushing this time. Keep the jersey at home. It's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be hot, muggy, raining, and if it does rain on you, that's gonna be So I'd say keep it light. Do you think Flores lost the locker room? We asking the wrong question. Did Flores lose the locker room? You should be asking, did the locker room lose Flores? Because he's the one evaluating them. Let's make sure that we have the pecking order in place here. Let's not sit around here and make it seem like this coach ain't at the head of what's going on. The pecking order is in place. Flores don't lose the locker room. The locker room lose him. And when the locker room lose him, he's sending you off. I'm the head. I'm in charge here. He's not losing no locker room. The only thing that can be lost is the locker room losing him. So at the end of the day, they should be worried about. See, it shouldn't be, you think Flores lost the guys? No, it should be, do you think Minkah Fitzpatrick is out of the good graces of Flores? That's what it should be. Do you think that those players are not revered good by Flores? You think you ever worry about Belichick losing the locker room? No, you worry about the players losing Belichick. And him saying, nah, that ain't the guy. Y'all better start putting some respect on Flores' name and put him on the mantle he belongs to be on. That's all that fake news, fake media stuff talk about lost the locker room. A real leader and a real coach switches that lost the locker room narrative around quick. If I was Flores, I'd be in a press conference. Well, if I lost anybody, they need to be man enough to come tell me I lost them so I can at least intentionally lose them, so I can lose them on purpose. But guess what the rest of these players doing? No, sir. No, I'll fight for you. I'll go to war with you. I'll do anything for you. Let's keep it 100 here. Let's keep it 100 here. Flores ain't got no clout. Do you know the definition of clout? Tell me what he's been doing so far. Tell me the one bit of clout that he lacks. Y'all don't want him to have clout. You don't want to see him with clout. You want to say he ain't did nothing to have clout, but you come in day one with clout. If you're a real coach and a real leader, you know you got all the clout in the world and you ain't worrying about the people telling you you don't have it. You know why? Because you the one making the decisions, not those people. Flores ain't got no clout. Kiko Alonso ain't here, is he? Kenny Stills ain't here, is he? He ain't got no clout. He is the clout. And the sooner y'all realize that, you'll start reversing at yourself. You'll stop saying, do you think he lost the locker room? Why would he care if he lost it? Anybody he lost, he's the type of person that's a leader that's happy to get rid of him. Oh, I lost that person? Okay. Y'all really think that man cares? He's in control. The problem is I don't think people like that he is so much that they want to keep the narrative as if he isn't and that he's weak. When he's been the strongest one through all of this. When things go bad, I'm going to take ownership. But when them cameras off, I'm giving everybody in that locker room the business. Everybody in that locker room getting the business. Let them know who in charge and what time it is, what we didn't do. We can sit here and talk about schematic football was the problem all we want, but the truth be told, players just got beat. Players got beat on that field. Guys ain't even winning a battle. Ain't even winning the battle. TD just crowned Flores. They crowned him when they hired him. He been crowned. Now, over time, we'll determine he shouldn't have been. That might happen. But until that day, who are we? Who are we? And I want y'all to take that on your way out of this stream. Who are we? We're fans, TD. Then let me rephrase. Who are we to Flores? He don't worry about what's happening outside the building. You think Belichick care about the fans? Belichick there to do his job. He get paid and he need to do it well. That's all he worrying about. He ain't trying to appease fans. He ain't like, we got to do this to keep the fans excited. That never comes out of that man's mouth. So who are we? So I don't know why people waste their energy even talking down on Flores like he cares anyway. I'm just giving you insight on how that man thinks. Who are you? TD Fans Talk talking bad about me? Who is TD Fans Talk? Analysts on ESPN talking bad? Who are they? So get that understood now. Y'all can badmouth the man all you want, say he need to be fired. You think he care? That man got 5 years guaranteed. He running his system, and according to him, he's right on pace, if not ahead of plan. He might actually be saying, I'm giving myself, I'm running an A+ right now. I don't expect the nobodies to realize that. That's how he looking at it. And that's what I freaking wanted my head coach. I want him to ignore all this extra noise because that ain't winning games. Extra noise ain't winning games. I love how he handled himself. Every bit of it. Every bit of it, man. And the players feel the same way. Who are these people out here trying to tell us? TD, Truth Dolphin fans aren't worried. Stand-up fans. You better know it. Exactly. We're pulling an upset this Sunday against New England. Let's go, D-Wade. People still ask me if you're the real D-Wade, and I keep telling them, yeah, but they just don't believe it. You know, he always in China and stuff, man. Hey, man, next time, man, you got to bring me to China with you, bro. But, yeah, that's the real D-Wade. He stopped through and showed me love. We done known each other for quite some time. He stopped through and showed me love on occasions. You like that, huh, D-Wade? All right. Oh, man. After one game, Flores getting fired. I know, Edson. It's the funniest thing ever. Well, at least some of the commentators on TV even said, why are people starting this stupidness? This man coming in, changing up the whole game. What's the difference from the last 20 years? At a minimum, you're going to give him 3, 4, 5 years of a chance. Man, you never hire from the Belichick coaching tree. It never worked out. Kalen Gray, I done eliminated that myth a million times too. How you going to say somebody coaching tree it's never worked out? If you go back and look at Belichick's coaching tree, every coach that came from his tree went into a situation where he was stuck with 50% of the roster under contracts that shouldn't have been under. Matt Patricia stuck with a quarterback for 5 years. Stuck with him. Can't come in and see. So say a Patriots coach says, I got the winning game plan. I want to execute it. And then when they walk into the building as the head coach of a new regime, oh my gosh, how am I going to execute my plan when the way the books are set up and the way that they got everything organized is bad and it's guaranteed and we're stuck with it for at least 3 years. I can't even get rid of that player if I wanted to. I can't even get rid of that player if I wanted to. This player is a talent in the league, but he got sucky hands and eyes. That player, he ain't buying in. He want to do what he want to do. Oh my gosh. Guess I just got a coach. Yes, I just got a coach. I was hoping I was coming in to have my own team and build it the way I wanted because I know what that entails in order to win. You can't compare coaching trees. Every coach goes into a different situation. Every coach. But one thing I will tell you, Brian Flores is coming into the most favorable situation. You know why? If there is a legitimate system in place, he actually gets to start cleaning it out and implementing it day one. He came into a situation where he had to be stuck with nobody. He was able to wipe it all out like that. Now I'm going to sit back and watch what he does methodically, year after year. Nothing's wrong with you coming into a new situation and saying, clear it all out. Let's build it the way that I know how to do it. Let's go. And stage one gets done and he clears it out and we already want to be like, fire the guy. And it's like, dang, y'all ain't even going to let me come and bring y'all a winning organization. Greer and Ross knows that it might get worse before it gets better. It's part of the process. But that's why they feel like, who are they? Because y'all don't know. And like I said the other day, if y'all were in the meeting room in March and y'all sat there in the meeting room and they said, we want to bring you on and we want to hire you. And you were like, yay, I'm a member of the Miami Dolphins coaching staff. But you sat in on that meeting and they said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build this thing. I don't know if this is the case, but if it was, we're going to build this thing from scratch. We're going to accumulate as many draft picks as we can. We're going to get rid of all these guys who aren't going to be here 3 years later anyway. Okay? And we're going to get the guys we want. We're going to build the franchise that we want. We're going to go with the game plan. You would have been the same person sitting up in there. Let's go. You know, it might get rough, but let's go do it. You would have been the same person sitting there saying, let's do it. If it's a part of the plan, let's do it. And you would have also been the same person watching people talk the way they talk now, saying they don't know. They don't know better. They're talking bad, talking about fire the coach. We're right on track for what we were doing. This is just for the people who say we were tanking now. This is for the people who say we were tanking. But we automatically want to write this guy off. According to that front office, right now, according to Greer, Ross, and Flores, I think we're doing great. We're actually ahead of schedule for what we're trying to do here. We actually got more than we could have ever expected in our plan in a lot of cases. TD, if you was the coach and you had to draft a QB, which college QB would you draft? Right now, there's so many of them. Give me 3 options. I'll tell you my best option. Give me 3 options because I can name 6 guys that I would actually possibly look at. Give me 3 options, all right? I'm going to tell you who my top option would be. I can tell you now, I wouldn't draft one in 2020. I can tell you that now. If I was in that office, my plan is 2021, I'm drafting a quarterback. If Rosen don't work out. 2020. Out of the people y'all named so far, I'm more on Herbert than any of the rest of them. I like Herbert a little more than all the rest of the guys. If I was to go number 2, I would say Trevor. Number 3 from. Number 2 ain't even in my number. And if I was to draft Tua, I would draft the Tua in the 3rd or 4th round. Because to me, it's a project. He got the feet. He got the arm. Too many unknowns, though. I don't know if this man can even read defenses. And the reason, and it's not a knock on Tua, it's just his circumstance. Let me tell y'all this now. From this day forward, all the way into the draft, if you hear anyone tell you that Tua is the guy because he can read defenses and can sift through defenses and X, Y, and Z, how his IQ of the game and his knowledge of the game, if they shout out any of that, I will be the first to tell you it is fake news. It don't mean he can't, but nobody could possibly know that based off of what we've seen in his college film. Nobody knows that. So don't automatically check that box for him. Now, if you want to come in and say we just want a mobile quarterback, he ain't got to know how to read defenses. We would like him to, but he ain't got to know how to. Then I get it. But these extras are so good at checking the box. Just because he's winning games and in national championships and he's sellable. Y'all got to understand what you hear in the national media. They are going to rave about what's sellable. He's sold. He can be sold very well. This man hits his first progression on 90% of the plays he runs. That's not his fault. But you would love to see him play a tough defense and that first progression isn't open. And he's hitting the rest of those guys. You would love to see Tua play defenses where the first progression isn't open and he still can rotate around and hit the open guy. But guess what? His first progression wasn't open in the national championship game, and he didn't look good. Every time he throws an interception, it's right in the defender's arm because he's so used to just hitting the first progression, and he's so used to it being open. Hut! Oh my gosh, the defender was there. You didn't know that before you threw it? I mean, the guy was sitting there the whole time. It ain't like he came up and jumped the route. He was just sitting there. Now, we do understand he don't throw that many picks, but at the same token, every time I see the man throw one, it's total disregard for the defense. Hut, let it rip. Crap. Because he's so comfortable about not having to read the defense. I'm not saying he can't, but he's so comfortable of not having to read it because his first progression is always open in Alabama that he lets it rip. Y'all remember 2 weeks ago, right? Or last week? Was it last week? It was a week ago. We were on a live stream and I was sitting here watching Tua. And I said, once again, he hits his first progression. Once again, he hit his first progression. His first progression is interception on his first progression. Once again, he hits his first progression. Once again, he hits his first progression. Once again, he hits his first progression. His first progression isn't there. He's not throwing a pick. He gets sacked. Dolphins, you're the only one in here saying you're wrong on this one, bro. You can't. On this channel, we don't throw out general statements of you're wrong. On this channel, we say you're wrong because Tua does this. You're wrong because this proves that Tua does that. You're wrong because this is why it looks that way. That's what we kind of do on this channel to sound. That's what we do on this channel. Okay? But what I will tell you, because when you say I'm wrong, you might actually be misunderstood of what I'm trying to tell you, actually. I'm not saying the man can't read defenses. We don't know if he can because he never has to. And he doesn't have to so much that he'll throw an interception because he's not used to it. And somebody gonna tell me the other day, no, he's just setting up the deep ball. He just keeps going to the first progression just to look off the deep ball, then he hits it. So what happens when you can't set it up because your first progression isn't open on a normal basis? When you get to the NFL, your first progression is going to be open half the time as it's open in college. Half the time. So what is he going to do during all that time? We don't know because we never have to see him in a situation where he had to. TD fans, would you have rather taken Lamar Jackson? I'm not going to say that either because I'm not sold on Lamar Jackson either. I have a thing about quarterbacks who have 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball. You could put any quarterback back there, and if they got 5 to 7 seconds to throw the ball, they are going to rip you apart. I have a thing. Let me go extreme and say against. It's not against, but I have a thing against praising quarterbacks who have all the time in the world. I'm a firm believer in Patrick Mahomes. Catch me in 5 years and then I'll tell you how good he is. No, not 5 years. Catch me in 3 years, then I'll tell you how good Patrick Mahomes is. When he gets his $40 million and they can't afford that defense or they can't afford that offensive line, then I'll evaluate Patrick Mahomes. He still might be one of the greatest. He might end up being better than Brady when it's all said and done. See, people don't like stuff like that. They don't like whenever I give the caveat that he still might be the greatest ever. But you ain't going to catch TD trying to make a judgment on how good he is until he's in a similar situation that most of the struggling quarterbacks in the NFL are in. Same thing with Russell Wilson. When he was making less than $1 million for 3 years straight. He won 11 games, 13 games, then 12 games. Soon as he got his money, he ain't win 11 games since. He ain't won more than 11 games since. Cam Newton, rookie contract, looking like a superstar. Soon as he got his money, they don't even know if he's the right guy. RG3, rookie contract, same thing. Soon as he got his money, he wasn't the guy. Kaepernick, same thing. Rookie deal, it's all good. Soon as you start taking money from the team, are you making up the difference? No. It's too much proof. It's too much proof out there of all these guys doing this exact same thing. There's too much proof of it. Too much proof for me to sit there and jump on a wagon and say, yep, this guy is the future. They said Cam was the future. They said all these guys were the future, man. Now they all struggling. Now every franchise, I don't know if he's really the guy. I mean, he's good, but I don't know if he's the guy. All of them are saying this. All of them. Show on film that Tua can't read defenses. M. Dolphin, you just proved my point. You're not listening to me. I can't show you on film that he can't read defenses, bro. That's the point I've been sitting here trying to make to you because you can't show me on film that he can. That's the only point I'm making. I even said out of my own mouth, he might end up being the greatest ever. But I can't show on film that he can't read defense, nor can I show on film that he can. How hard is that for people to process? Last time, let me slow it down. I cannot show on film that Tua can't read defenses. I can't show that on film. But I also can't show on film that he can read defenses. Because he hits his first progression 90% of the time, and it is always wide open. But you're going to draft the guy that this is all that's been happening in the last 10 years with first-round quarterbacks. It's the same thing that's been happening. It's the same thing that's been happening. EM Dolphins said, yes, I can. No, you can't. No, you can't. You cannot show me 1 out of every 10 plays where he reads the defense and say that he can. You cannot tell me out of 1 out of every 10 passing plays where he may look around and find a guy. Because even when he looks around and find a guy, it ain't even methodical like, all right, that's not open. That's not open. That's not open. Oh, there it is. That ain't even what's happening. What's happening with Tua is, that's not open. Oh, let me get out of the pocket. Oh, on the run. There goes a guy. That's a broken play. That's a let me run, but is anybody open? Oh, I got one. That's totally different. You cannot sit here and show me on film on a consistent basis that you see Tua reading his progressions. We literally watched the game on. Hey, you may disagree, M. Dolphin, but the funny thing is, we were on a live stream a week ago watching Tua play on Saturday. We were on the live stream, or was it 2 weeks ago? We were on the live stream watching Tua play. We had 200 people on this. No. We had 400 people on the stream, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 400 people on the stream. We're all watching Tua from home. Everybody on the stream was watching Tua. And I'm sitting here pointing it out. And everybody on the stream, and I never noticed this. Wow, I see exactly what you're saying, bro. Oh my gosh, you're right. This man went through 2 quarters of football, and I could only point to one play where he read the defense, and it was still a scramble out where he needed it. Go back and check out the stream and go read the comment section. It ain't just my eyes. We were live on this stream while everybody was at home watching Tua on TV. Watching him on TV. And the exact things I was saying was proven to people in their face. And I told them, don't listen to me. Just watch. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I want you to go watch the comments in the comment section. Every evaluation of him by people that have a background in talent evaluation says that this is strong. That's his strong suit. That's my whole point, because they ain't really doing no freaking research. How can somebody's strong suit be something that he ain't even got to do? How? How can you automatically say it's somebody's strong suit when he ain't even got to do it? You ain't got enough evidence to say it's his strong suit. This is what they do to you every single year. They give you the next big name coming out and say he got all these attributables, when the truth is, you don't even know if he got them. It's just that the team he's on is so good that they don't put him in a position to prove it. So they automatically check the box. And he does. Just go check the stream. I ain't gotta say nothing. Go check the stream. And everybody on that stream saw what I saw. And I was speaking it as they were agreeing, because they could see it for themselves. Riff Reaper said, gonna be a long season for Miami. I'm not throwing shade. I understand it. I'm a Bucs fan. Shout out to you, Riff Reaper. That ain't shade. If you feel like it's gonna be a long season, it might actually be. Hopefully we can string something together and change that. And let me tell you something, man. When Mike is agreeing with me, I'm gonna tell you now. When Mike is agreeing with me, and Mike will be, I don't know why I said Mike. I mean Nick. When Nick is agreeing with me, he said, I agree with you. Tua can't read a defense from what I have seen. I don't even know. I ain't agreeing with that, Nick. I don't know if he can read a defense, but I can't tell whether he can or not. I'm telling you, man, Rosen is pathetic. Time will tell, man. I live in New Jersey. Oh, I missed it. I live in New Jersey, and I wish I could watch my Fins more. Man, Nick, man. I might have to get my Sunday ticket and give you the login or something, man. We got to get you watching the games, bro. Have you seen every snap he's taken? That's the point, M. Dolphin. Ever since everybody was talking about Tank for Tua, I went back to look at him. I went back to look at every snap that I could from this kid, and that's what made me draw the conclusion. I'm talking about before the national championship last year. And the national championship should be your first indicator, because Clemson required him to read the defense. And what happened? You know what happened? Everybody said after the game, it was only one game. You can't use that to judge him. Well, as somebody who's analyzing his entire play, it was the first game I got to see another defense require him to go through progressions. And it didn't look pretty. It didn't look pretty. It didn't look pretty at all. Really, what's his background? I don't know his background. Don't care about his background. All I care about is the film. Why do I got to know what school, the exact school he went to, what grades he got, if his mother and father were absent or not? I don't have to know his background. I just need to go look at the film and see what we're getting. That's all I want to look at. I'm tired of us making the wrong evaluations because the league tell us this the next top player coming out. And it ain't just the Miami Dolphins. Has that not been the point? Has that not been almost all these sorry franchises in the last 10 years picking their quarterback in the top 10? Has this not been all the quarterbacks in the last 10 years picking their quarterback in the top 10? They all getting hoodwinked by the media selling the guy to get clicks. To get clicks, to make money. The media has to sell you your future quarterback because they're going to make money off of selling you your future quarterback. They're making money right now on Tank for Tua. Every article that comes out about Tua in relation to the Miami Dolphins get the most clicks. It's how they make their money. They play with your emotions and they build him up and make him sound like you guys are about to get the biggest treat you could have ever wished for. And it makes you feel good. Hey, man, if we do lose, as long as we get Tua, man, we just need a franchise quarterback. That's all. That's all I'm saying here. And they play into your emotion. They play into your emotion because they know they can suck you in with it. And that's what they're doing. And they're doing a hell of a good job. And they're making a lot of money doing it. A whole lot of money doing it. And guess what? It's foolproof too. You know why? Because if it doesn't work out and he ends up being a bum, all they're going to do is throw the next shiny, glamorous thing in your face. What you think they did with Rosen in Arizona? And they had to come back and get a whole nother quarterback the next year. I'm telling you, you better go, don't, and another thing that he said, every guy who specializes in this and they analyze the game has said otherwise. Can you, for once, stop listening to other people and go let your eye test make your own conclusion? Stop listening to other people. Go watch his film and say, all right, play number one. Go watch any film or Tua, random, and I'll be right. Just go watch and say, all right, play number one. Does he hit his first progression and does he hit it fast? Hike. First progression, okay. But he gonna have somewhere he don't. Second play, does he just hike the ball and hit his first progression? Hike, look left, hit it. Go do your own analysis. And then whenever that first progression isn't there, it's either an interception or what does he do? It's not there. Roll out. Roll out of the pocket. Don't call a roll out of the pocket hitting another progression, okay? Because progressions are to be made in the pocket. Now, I want you to show me in a game. No, M. Dolphin, if you say you have, do me a favor. Go in the comment section of this video and send me to the video where you have so I can look at it, so I can come on the stream tomorrow and say, ladies and gentlemen, M. Dolphin has finally showed me the evidence, so I want to make sure that I give you all the accurate information on this channel. The link is in the description below, everybody. This is the video that proves that Tua can read defenses, and I am sold. That's all I'm asking, because I want to be right over here. I want to give people the right information. But all I have right now is what I have. I always conduct my own evaluation. Well, do us a favor on this channel because we value you as a subscriber and we appreciate you. Please give us the video. Shoot me the link in the description section that makes this point so that I can show other people so that I can start getting on the Tua train. So I can start saying, hey, guys, I never saw this video. Oh, my gosh, this guy actually he's reading defenses. Look at this. First progression ain't there. He's changing his head. Oh, my gosh. But don't give me something where his head is in the middle of the field the whole time and he throws after 5 seconds and you say, oh, he read his progressions. He just using just his eyes. No, don't give me that. Don't give me no film of that. That's all I'm asking for, all right? I'm working right now, but I'll get back to you. That's all we asking, bro. That's all we asking. I'm humble enough to take what you give me, go look at it for myself, and if you're right, I will change my tune right away and make sure the masses know, because we all want to know who we're going to be getting. I want to get behind this Tua train if I see that it's worth it. I really do. Because then I'm gonna be honest, if you show me that film, I might even get even more excited. I might be like, oh my gosh, we actually might have the guy that's gonna change the life of the Miami Dolphins. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm gonna do. Because that would excite me if Tua is the guy and everything suggested. That actually would excite me. But as of right now, I don't see it. But I'm always open to that for anybody on the stream because I'm open to this type of information. I'm open to it because that's why I like the proof. I only want to talk about things that I can actually prove via films, deep statistical analysis, not just stats, but analysis of the stats. That's just who I am. All right. So I appreciate that, M Dolphin. I'll be waiting on it, bro. What link, Nick? I like Joe Burrow better than Tua. TD, you not gonna see it because it's not there. Hey, I can't sit there and speak for it not being there. I got a person telling me that it's there. I have to do my due diligence by allowing him the time to get that to me. My opinion ain't gonna change until I get that though. But if he say it's there, I can't sit here and say you're a lie. It's not there. It's just not there from what I saw. But he might go back and look and say, here it is. Or he might go back and say, you know what, TD, I have a different thought process of it. Because of what I saw, it kind of makes sense of what you're saying. But I really think he can read defenses. Now, that's fine. Because the problem is we don't know. I never said he can't. I keep arguing the fact of we're going to draft someone that we don't know can read defenses, and everybody clap back. Oh, why you saying he can't read defenses? I never said that he can't. I said we don't know if he can. Because he's not in a situation where he even has to, man. No link. It's common knowledge that Alabama players in the brutal SEC and then playoffs. Breon gonna beat you in fantasy. Stop. Y'all delusional, man. Not gonna happen. It's your boy TD. I gotta get out of here. I hope y'all had some fun today. It depends on what the wife wants to do tonight. If she wants to spend some personal time with me, we're gonna relax tonight. If she just wants to vibe on the couch or something like that and chill, then we're gonna probably watch the game together. And she might say, "Go live. Let's talk to the peeps." Because it's crazy. She's enjoying it more and more and more. And that is making me so excited, man. My wife is having more and more and more fun with the channel. Every time we get off, she says, I'm loving the channel. I'm loving actually interacting with them. It's kind of fun. You know, I get to talk noise. They talk their noise. And I get to talk about it. She was telling me this morning. I said, is it Thursday? I said, well, it might be Thursday night football. She's like, oh my gosh, are you going to go live? I said, who are you? Who are you? You used to look at me and be like, I'd be like, babe, it's Thursday night football. You got a problem with me streaming tonight? Or did you want to spend some time? Because, you know, I just love watching football games now. It ain't even got to be my team. I'm like, who are you? Who are you? And it's the most beautiful thing ever, y'all. I'm just drew from them out like, oh my gosh, my baby, a huge football fan, and I got the perfect life now. I ain't got to deal with the wife complaining about football. Oh, it's been beautiful, man. But I thank y'all for that because y'all make the chats interactive when she's here, and she has a lot of fun. So thank y'all, man. What round was Brady drafted? 6th round. I think everybody knows that. TD, you rather keep Rosen or Fitz? Right now, Fitz, but next year we got to start Rosen at the end of the day, unless we draft a quarterback in the offseason. Well, TD, you should be a scout, man. How many years of quarterbacks have you played? How many years of quarterback have you played? I've never played quarterback. I just study the game, and I study every position. And I try to study the one position that I haven't studied like phenomenally well is tight end. I really don't or offensive line per se. I haven't studied those two groups, but running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks, corners, safeties, linebackers, because it's more intricate to me. I study those things. I study, what makes a good one. And one thing that I love that Flores brought to this team that's universal for any position, good eyes, good hands, good feet. He's spot on. He's sure right. You got to have those things at every position. Every position. So I would love to be a scout. That's the 2020 club, but I don't know if I'm gonna be good with making $20,000 a year to work 20 hours a day. And let me take that back. I would actually do that. I would work 20 hours a day to work 20 out, make 20,000 a year, because I know my work ethic and my knowledge of the game is going to too far. One day I'll be looking up getting hired as a head coach like Flores. I know I could do that. The problem is right now in my life and what I'm doing, in order for me to do that, they'll tell me I can't have TD Fans Talk being on an organization like that. I already know that's how that works. And this is what I love. And this is what I want to do. So that's where I am with that. So who knows? Future might change. We'll see, man. But this TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Go check out the Instagram, Twitter. Everything is TD Fans Talk, Facebook. Go check me out. Also, please share the videos. Let everybody know about TD Fans Talk as well. I appreciate y'all love. I appreciate y'all support. And I appreciate y'all hanging out with your boy every single day, man. We have a lot of fun on this channel. And thanks to you all and the support that you give me. It's greatly appreciated, as always. This is TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I love y'all. Peace. I'm out.